How you doing? Oh, sorry, I had my boots in the way. Uh, Slightly different look today. Wearing my thermal. Great thermal. Oui, yes. I didn't know you knew French. Hi. Got someone saying wants me to pet them. Yeah. Well, if you're going to be petted, you're going to be up here. So, Mac and I want to say hi. Say hi, Mac. Say it. Come on, you can do it. Okay. Yep. Just got home from taking Ian back to see his mom. So, be with his mom. So, unfortunately, that's a thing. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll see him soon enough. So that's how it works. How are you this eve, Evan? Let's see. Okay. Let me put that up so I can actually see what's going on in the world. Hey, Blake, how you doing? Get myself to like myself for the change. I was going to just see who shows. Ooh, glad to hear it. I'm not sure what's much is going on here, other than hanging out with my wife. She's not feeling so hot, but she's here. Let's see here. She had a really interesting color street thing going on earlier, so hopefully that will be cool for her. Let's see, am I plugged in right? Oh, good. Hey, Brian, how are you and your friends doing? I don't care about the Super Bowl. I know that may be sacrilegious in some states. I'm not into football since I'm here. I literally can turn the TV around and it's shut off right now. I don't have it anywhere else. So then, Prepper, thank you for coming. Just here because I am not into the Super Bowl. So it does not mean anything to me. I didn't play high school football in high school, even though they tried. The coaches tried like hell to get me on there, but that didn't happen because I was a sprinter in high school and had multiple, medals for running and all that other stuff when I was back in the day, way before some of you guys were even born. I'm sorry to say, but it is what it is. I was more into track, cross country, and definitely archery. So those are my things. And camping. Yeah, outdoor stuff is always good. So, hi, everybody. Hope everything is well. Oh, thank you. I was one of those ones that you hear walking down the hallway in high school, you go cling, 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 but nothing but track medals. I went to state. See, since I started, I went to varsity track. The varsity track team went in as a freshman, all through senior year. Nope, Evan, you are no longer the youngest. That would be Brian. Well, thank you, Brian. I really appreciate the support. Now, I was showing you guys the other day what is called a chafing dish. And I'm not sure how many of you guys caught it. It's in the other room. But I'm going to be doing a test sometime either this week or next weekend of 1 ounce of fuel. Fuel doesn't matter to me. The amount of water, not really worried. I'm just going to do about a liter of water, I guess. And I'm going to see how long it takes to boil a thing. Hey, Mandy, how you doing? Hey, Grace. Now, here, let me see what's going on here. For those who are interested in coming up. And Grace, if you want to come up and talk about your how you did on your overnighter, greatly hear it, because that firsthand experience is always cool, especially in the wintertime. But if you give me a moment, I'll show you what I'm planning on doing. And I'm going to measure this out. Give me a second. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, here's what I wanted to show you guys. This doesn't matter. This is just the stand I'm going to be using. I'm going to put this stuff down on my lap here. This is what I'm going to be testing. See what the boil times is compared to a Trangia-like alcohol stove. Same amount of fuel in both. See if it's comparable. I'll be putting it in this thing here, which is just a sterno stove, old vintage one. Using it on a aluminum bush pot or belly pot, whatever you want to call it, and just see what happens. I don't know if I'm planning on recording about it, because it is going to be kind of boring. But you guys let me know. Mandy says hi. Wait, you gotta do it right, love. Say it. Just say it.
Hi, Mandy.
Okay, there you go. Sorry for being forceful, but there you go. Now, like I said, I was planning on, I could probably use my alcohol stove to do the same test, see which one's better, but I'm just curious. This is a simple chafing dish. I mean, usually you use for warming trays and things like that, but it does produce a flame with enough on the fuel in it, about this high above the dish itself. And it also has, actually you can see it, you can adjust the flame and all that stuff, which I can't do with my other one. So I don't have, I'm not sure what the frick the thing is called, but that's something I'm going to check out. Have you guys, anybody have an experience with these? Yes, no, maybe so. Let me know. And the metal, in case anybody wants, it's a simple pressed tin, I think. Nothing fancy. Hey, Cookie, thank you for coming. Sorry if I didn't get to say hi to you. I've just been a little, one of those things. Yeah, they're a little old school, Brian. That's probably, you don't see a lot of them. They're used a lot in catering and stuff like that. Though I believe Corn-Fed has not seen a lot of these, apparently. But my boy found it at, I think he found it at the Goodwill Outlet store, I believe. Or was it at the outdoor flea market?
It was the outdoor flea market.
It was outdoor flea market. It probably came off of Amazon. But I'll do a search in a bit to see if there's such a thing on there that I can find out how much one of those things would run if you decided to buy one. If they're worth buying at all, that is. I don't know. I do not know. So, how's everybody? I'm glad that we say everybody's saying hi. Glad you're here. I'm not sure if They got a lot of sternos and stuff like that, but not one like I'm looking for here. I'm hoping it might have been a part of a set. Who knows? Yeah, Buffett warmer is pretty close to what it was, but I'm not sure. Hey, there comes Grace. Okay, I added you. What happened? I have no idea what that. Okay, that's something else. Grace, give me a second and try again because I'm not getting you up here. Oh wait, let me try something. There we go. Try again. Hey, you would be surprised what local antique shops can provide for you. I found a lot of cool gear. I've found lamps and other things. Hopefully this works this time. There she is. Hey, Grace. Okay, I can't hear you, Grace. Do you have your headset in, or do you have your volume turned down? I don't have you muted, so having issues. Let me check something here. Okay. I should be able to hear you. Does anybody hear Grace? Because I can't hear her. I'm gonna check on the other side. Hear you. Does anybody hear Grace? Because I can't hear her. Nope. Let me check on the other side. Hear you. Nope. Don't hear you. I don't hear Grace at all. Grace, I'm still having issues. I'm not sure if it's mine or yours. I'm going to try something. I don't know if that would work or not, but I'm going to try something I have never done before. Let me do a picture search. I'm going to do an image search. I've never done one of those, but who knows? Let's see here. I don't know. That's not what I'm looking for. Dang it. I gotta get a different picture. Turn off the thing here. I turned off the flash. I have no idea. The images do not match up with what I'm looking for, which is really freaking weird. Okay, Grace, you can try again. I'm going to be here for you. Okay? I'm going to try. Image searches are hard. Okay, got one. It's a stainless steel fondue burner chafing dish. And here we go for attempt number 3. Okay, Grace. Hopefully I can hear you. That's nice. Grace, are you there? Okay. Thank you for letting me know, folks. I still can't hear her either, or see her. I got the spinning wheel of death. I'm not sure if it's Grace or me. If anybody has any issues with me, let me know. Grace, I'm gonna have to. Oh man, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm gonna remove you and you try for the 4th time. Okay. Okay, Grace, shut down and try it one more time. And I found out what this is exactly. Just to let you guys know. I just found it on Amazon. And it's a stainless steel. Give me a second. I'm all tied up here. See if I can get this thing to show up on here. That's what it is. And it was $10 originally. Come on, Grace. Work. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Weird. I guess. Mandy, can you come up to make sure it's not me? Because I know you can come up from where you're at. So if anybody else wants to try to come up real quick, I mean, that way I can test, make sure it's not me having the issues. Because I don't know if you guys are having trouble hearing me or anything like that. Give me a second. I'll do the invite one more time. There we go. There's the link once again. And like I was saying, this is a stainless steel fondue burner chafing dish from Al the Chef. Okay, here's Mandy and Grace again. Hey, Mandy.
Morning.
Hey, Grace. Okay.
Right.
I can't hear her.
Are you down with?
I have no idea what's going on. She's never had issues before.
Oh.
Oh, no yawning, please.
I
know it's morning there. That's your own fault.
No, it's not.
Talking to JV all night, that's what you do.
So different in time zones.
You're talking to JV all night. That's what it is.
No, I haven't. Because I had Bible study with Miss Lee at 10, and then Bible study with Eric and JV at 3, and JV went to bed, so he's still snoring. He had to have a nap.
Okay.
So how dare you nap on my birthday?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So this is a birthday live stream. Everybody, please say happy birthday to Mandy.
Yes. I'm a little bit tired, so I'll try not to yawn.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yep. And we're just, I just got back from dropping my boy off with his mom and decided to come online because why not? I am not into the Super Bowl thing that a lot of people are. So I'm not going to talk about it.
No.
Now, like I said, I just found out what this was. My little cooker thing that Ian found. And, it's pretty similar to a alcohol stove, Trangia, but different in some aspects. $10 is all that is.
Not bad.
Not all. Okay, here comes Grace again. Grace, can you hear me? Can I hear you?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, yay!
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
We can hear her
Well,
at
you
least.
can't see me on purpose.
What's wrong with you? I've seen you before. It's not like I haven't seen you in person.
I just
This
prefer
is-
not to be on screen. That's okay.
I can see part of something. I can see the ceiling.
Can you?
I did for a half a second. I'm sure Mandy did too. Oh, now she's going. Leave me all by my lonesome up here.
Okay.
It's only because I'm having a smoke, Colin.
Oh.
I don't have a problem with that. Have you?
I'm still here, right?
You're
Yeah,
still
there-
there.
I see a
Okay.
hand.
All right. I thought you were saying I was gone.
No. You guys both are hiding behind your screens.
Give me a
I'm-
minute. I look like a hot mess right now, okay?
I just saw you, so it's not like I haven't
No,
seen
I
you.
tried to log in with.
Go ahead.
I tried to log in with the camera turned off, and it wouldn't work. So I thought, well, let me try it with the camera on. But I got a box sitting on top, so you can't see me.
Oh, why?
But you hear me
It's
now.
not like I said. I've seen you in person before. Nothing new to me.
Oh no, I'm not presentable right now. But anyway, I'll tell you about the camping trip.
Sure. That's what
Okay.
one of the reasons I wanted you up here for. You can tell us about it. I know you
Okay.
did chime in from time to time throughout the weekend.
Yeah,
But
I
was just
never-
pretty cool.
I never get a signal where we camp. Never.
Well,
And
apparently you
lo and
can now.
behold, I did.
Yep, it was awesome being able to hear from you from time to time, which is really cool. How was the cold?
The first
Cold.
2 nights, it got down to just like maybe right around freezing. Last night, it got down to about 19. So
Yeah.
it was a bit chilly. Of course, I use my 10-degree sleeping bag, and then I have just a real lightweight sleeping bag for summertime. I use that as a liner.
Right.
And I had a wool blanket that I could throw over the top of me if I needed to. Because, we were cold camping. There's no hot tent, nothing like that. No Mr. Buddy heater, nothing like that. So,
Even though you could have brought
um,
those things that you did have your little all-terrain, vehicle with you.
well, I'll get to that in a minute, but we're going to have to modify the way we use that thing a little bit.
Okay, well,
So-
it's a work in progress, as you said. We already knew that.
So last night it did get pretty chilly, and for Amanda and anybody else who uses centigrade, I did look it up before I logged on. 19 is about a -6 Celsius. So it's kind of chilly for somebody who's not used to sleeping outside a lot. I'm not real seasoned at this thing, so did okay, except that there was a little bit of an issue because the land we were camping on is my friend who rescues dogs. It belongs to her.
Right.
And when we get to her place, we park our vehicles, get the UTV loaded up, the trailer loaded up, and start hiking down the fire road. Usually a few of the dogs will tag along, but eventually they'll turn around and walk back up to her place. Well, Daisy decided not to. Daisy decided she wanted to hang out with us. And
That's
that was
cool, though.
okay, except that we had food for 1 dog that we had to ration between 2. So it made it a little bit rough on our poor Mona, who's
Oh,
used to
no.
not being deprived.
Yeah, not
And
used to sharing.
also we also only had blankets and whatnot for 1 dog.
Right.
So now Daisy wouldn't have minded cuddling. She's like that, but Mona is used to sleeping by herself and didn't appreciate it, so she wouldn't let Daisy anywhere near her. So trying to divide up the blankets and trying to keep them covered up, but then they stand up and the blankets fall off, etc. It's a real pain. But anyway, at one point last night, I woke up and I felt Daisy leaning up against me, laying down, leaning up against my hip. And I could feel her shivering. Basically, she was laying on the floor of the tent, which may as well have been a slab of ice.
Ooh.
So I took my wool blanket off and I gave it to her. So she was happy, but then I was a little bit cold.
Oh, I bet.
So about 5:30 in the morning, I decided I was going to go ahead and get up and get the fire going again. And Forget about trying to stay warm in a sleeping bag. But so that's how the weather was. Now, the most eventful part of the whole trip probably was the day that we hiked in. We left at about 3:15, and with the UTV, it shouldn't have taken us more than 20 minutes tops to get to our camping spot.
Right.
Instead, it took us about an hour and a half because we came to the first big mud puddle. I decided to let Michael give it a shot. I'm just not that confident with driving through the mud and all that like he is. So, especially with the trailer. So he got stuck. We had to unhitch the trailer, get the UTV out, then use a piece of rope to get the trailer out of the big mud puddle. At that point, he decided that instead of using the regular trail, knowing that there were a few other spots that were pretty muddy, he decided it might be better just to cut our own trail through the woods. That was a big mistake.
Oh, I bet.
We got stuck about 5 times. And one time we tipped the trailer over into the creek.
Oh no.
My bag that had all my clothes, my sleeping bag and stuff like that got a little bit wet on the bottom, but not too bad. My cheese fell out of the cooler along with everything else and went floating down the creek.
Oh no.
But all in all, we recovered. We finally got there, but it was about an hour and a half after we had planned on getting there. So then we were extremely short on time to get everything set up during the daylight. So we managed, but yeah, that was the highlight, I guess.
Oh wow.
The trip out there was a pain, but we decided that the trailer was just loaded down too much. We went overboard. Usually, we are carrying everything in our packs.
Right.
So for me, maybe 35 pounds max. I think probably more like between 25 and 30 would be my norm.
Right.
And Michael probably carries about 35 or so. We had, I would guess, probably at least 125 to 150 pounds in the trailer.
Oh, that's a lot.
And the trailer doesn't have good, mud tires on it either. It's just these little skinny ones. So, you're getting no tread out of those.
You need to get some balloon tires or something.
So, and we have to realize that what we're driving is not a 4-wheel drive ATV. It is a lawnmower, essentially. It is a light utility tractor.
Right.
And it doesn't handle the mud so well. So, but lesson learned.
Well, you're here. You survived. You have a story, which is really cool. Sometimes the whole thing is about the story.
Well, I'm not, any kind of competition for Mark and Tyler and Justin, their extreme weather challenge.
Oh no!
But for me, it was the first. The coldest I'd ever slept in before was right around freezing. So last night was, a new thing for me.
I'm not sure if you knew this. I'm not sure how many people do. When you see a rating on a sleeping bag that says 10-degree bag,
oh yeah,
that's how much you can tolerate and still survive.
Right. You won't be comfortable. You won't be comfortable, but you'll
survive, but you will not be comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, you would have to add probably about another 15 degrees onto that is where your comfort rating is. So,
and that's why I had the light.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That's why I had the light weather sleeping bag and the wool blanket if I needed it. So,
right.
And Cliff said I was going to be burning up.
Right. You actually did a good thing at what I was going to say, because a proper sleeping bag liner, and in your case, you used another lightweight bag, probably gave you another 10 degrees.
It's a fairly lightweight bag.
It probably got you down to about 19 degrees bag together with everything all together. That's why you were cold, but not enough to actually make you comfortable. So yeah.
Well, with the wool blanket, I was fine, but once I gave it up for Daisy, it was a different story. So.
That's what. Oh yeah. Well, you were planning on one dog, not two, and you did lose some of your gear in the water. And I'm talking about even cheese is food, and food is calories, and calories means heat in your body. So,
yeah.
Hey, Cecilia.
And Amanda, just think, this is what you have to. You got even worse to look forward to, because I know it gets a lot colder in South Dakota than it does here.
Trust me, I'm going to be an icicle, but I'm going to love it.
Okay.
Well, with any luck, JD will have a Mr. Buddy, a little propane heater, or he'll have a hot tit set up for you. But he might want to test you anyway without, maybe just
I
once.
think I had like
You can
20
see how you did.
blankets just for me.
Now, what you could do, if you really wanted to, give yourself a little extra kick, Amanda, is get yourself a battery-powered pair of socks. They have a battery-powered jacket now. I've seen those. But back in the day, there used to be something called a battery-powered bra, heated bra.
I've already looked into that.
Hey, if you ever watched MASH, they mentioned it. There was one of those. But no, I mean, they do have jackets out now that run off battery packs. It was like your general, let's see if I got one here. Yeah, like one of these. You plug it in,
Yeah.
and it keeps your whole torso warm. Now, I don't know if it has a temperature setting or anything like that, but it's supposed to keep your core warm. So
It's going to take some getting used to, but give me a couple of years. I'll get used to it.
we'll get you some decent gloves. Wear the winter JV hat, not the cap, obviously.
Oh,
You got it somewhere. You'll have it. If you don't, he's got more. Your pink
no,
one's
because he got me a custom pink one.
Yeah, I know.
So I've got a beanie. I've got a scarf.
Didn't Cecilia make you one?
Yeah, she got me a neck warmer and an ear warmer.
Oh, that's good.
So
Space blanket. Actually, I've got something to show you guys. It's something I get from work, and it's from Australia, Mandy.
Australia, mate.
Yeah, we get this from Yellowtail wine, which comes from Australia. This is the line that comes in the liner that surrounds the wine to keep it from freezing, and this is the material. Not quite space blanket. Not quite plastic. It's not plastic, but it's pretty sturdy.
Yeah, yep.
See, you can fold it up. This is just one piece of the stuff I usually carry. I can get this stuff all the time at work, and I'm going to use a couple pieces of this, the size of the bottom of my tent, to use as a footprint for my tents. And as you can see, since it's reflective, would probably help reflect heat back into the tent. Instead of going down to the ground and being sucked out of your body, it would use this as a reflector.
That's one of them.
That's cool. It's your ear warmer, right?
It's my ear warmer.
You're definitely going to need that.
My ear warmers. It's a bit warm now for it. But
Oh, obviously.
yeah. And my forehead. I love how it just covers my forehead.
Yeah.
And that's the other one.
Okay, cool. Celia says she made you 3 items.
Well, I've got 3. I've got the neck warmer.
Right.
I ain't putting it on because it's way too hot.
Right.
And I've got the 2 ear warmers.
Okay.
I have to talk to JB about the beanie. I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
I've got mine somewhere. I think Ian acquired both of them. And I've only worn it like once or twice. But I've got my.
I'm trying to find where it is.
I generally wear my Carhartt hat because it's warmer that way. And Ian, actually, he found a Carhartt hat on the ground when we went out to eat about a week or so ago. And it is bright. Here, let me go grab it real quick. Oh, my knees. Ugh.
I know, Cecilia. As I said, with the mayhem and everything with JV moving and the whole lot, it'll be at his somewhere. So just have to wait once I've moved and once he has sorted out everything, we'll find it.
Hey, while Colin's away, I wanted to just mention Brian Rainforth had said I could use those adhesive hand warmers to keep warm. We did have those, and I think they work okay on my hands, but the ones that you put in your shoes, they tend not to heat up very well, and I think it's because of a lack of oxygen, because they need oxygen to activate whatever it is inside the little pouch. And
Or like
Yeah.
of course, in
one
your
of
food,
these,
you're kind of
maybe
closed up. So
one of these type, maybe. Well, that would work.
Oh,
These can be gotten in 8-hour burners and 12-hour.
yeah, but that's a
really?
very low
Tom?
heat.
Yeah, but that's a steady heat.
Hey,
Yeah.
Uncle.
Hey, Heath.
Tom, it's been known for, about 5 months that I'm moving to America to move in with JB. You're way behind.
Oh, here's the hat that Ian found.
Very nice.
It was in a mud puddle. We took it home. We washed it. Nothing wrong with it. Perfectly
Hey,
fine hat.
Frontier.
Yep. For those people who don't know, he's from Kentucky. I'm not sure where Tom's from, to be honest, but oh man, I hope you are feeling okay, Tom.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better. And Brian, we're hoping for April for the move.
Yep, it'll
Just
be great.
depends on how paperwork goes and
Yeah, for about a month after you get here, you guys are going to be, incommunicado. Then you're going to come visit. You're going to get your mug from us, and along with, I'm going to bring some coffee with us, so we're definitely going to try some. And your color street, you're going to get that from Jenny.
oh, yes. Thank you, Jenny.
Hey, you guys can do a live together, and she can put your color street on your fingers and everything. Yes.
Not something I'm used to, but
You'll be on with Jenny.
I'm not a very girly girl. I was raised as a tomboy, and I'm not very girly.
Well, thing is, this is as girly as Jenny gets. She doesn't go full makeup very often.
I don't own makeup. I don't use makeup.
Right.
Neither do I.
You love the natural look, or that's it.
This is the girl I fell in love with right here, just the way she is.
JV's never seen me with makeup. And it's like you probably won't ever. Just so you're aware.
Well, the closest you're going to get is your nails getting done.
Yeah.
But exactly. And my hair. It's the only thing that I have kept up on and
Where's
that
mine?
I've actually liked. Mine's just a bit dead at the moment. I need to
Thank
go
you.
get my treatment.
Keith, I really appreciate it.
Amanda, what color is your hair naturally?
Sandy blonde.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that color either. You're going to have to redo your roots pretty soon.
I got to do the whole lot. I normally get it done every 3 months, and next month will be the 3 months. So,
Are you going to wait till you get here, though? To get it done
No.
by here?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to wait until I actually get a date, and then about a week before that, I'll get booked in and get my hair done. That's all nice for when I move over.
Okay, by the way, just a quick question, just because, some people are pretty much sticklers about this. Does will your passport photo match your current look?
Yes.
Okay, with the pink hair.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure on that, because sometimes those people can be jerks.
Well, I did ask the lady when she was doing the passport photos. I said, does it matter about my hair being coloured? And she goes, no.
Okay.
And that's when she did suggest to get it dyed again before I move over. That way it's
More matching.
like similar to the same as the passport photo, because
That's
I
what I
didn't
was
even
talking
think
about.
of that.
Yeah, you got to make sure you match, because I had a friend of mine who had his passport, and he was going to Mexico to for a cruise thing. He shaved his head before he left, and it doesn't now he doesn't match his photo on his passport anymore because he has no hair. It took him a while. No, he did it while he was down there. His friends decided to help him style his hair while he was drunk.
Did my hair is again.
I think mine's longer.
Yours is definitely longer, but mine's it needs treatment.
Mine doesn't.
It's
I'm just looking at the.
fuzzy.
Oh, here we go again.
What's
Did
going
you
on?
see this the other night?
What's going on?
Her
Hair
hair.
battles?
Didn't you see this the other night?
What,
I
the
do
hair
it
thing?
every time I
I
come
got my
on.
hair wrapped today. I actually got it in a ponytail today. So
It's my thing, Grace. It's make myself look like a tool for everyone. Give everyone a laugh at my expense.
there we go. Hey,
I
we
do
were
it quite well.
we got JB laughing so hard he could barely breathe. That was so cool. Especially when I said something completely innocent, he took it totally the wrong way.
Trust me, we both were. We were both.
It's a military term.
Fine, done,
Honestly,
shut up.
I didn't even say that. I mean, I was actually talking about a real thing, and he was thinking something completely different.
Yep, so was
Hey,
I.
Jerry, how you doing? Now, I'm not sure. Yeah. So you saw how much this thing? Ian got this for like less than $1. It's like $10, which is really cool. It's got a little sponge on the inside and a wire mesh, as you can see, and it puts a flame out between 6 to 8 inches above the dish when it's filled up. Ooh, that sounds awesome, Jerry. Using wood stove to cook chicken. Do you have a cast iron for that? No, I'm talking to Cherry, not you. I know you don't have any you don't have a lot of cast iron over there, do you, Mandy?
We can get it, but I just don't know how real the cast iron is, if you know what I mean.
Well, if it works for you, it's all matters.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I've got tons of cast iron of different kinds. I mean, I've got Chinese, I've got a lot of American, obviously, because I could get it easier here, and a lot of the old school stuff, like Griswold's and Wagner ware and things like that. And if you don't know what those are were the top of the line back in the day, vintage stuff. I'm sure Grace has got a few pieces, probably.
Well, actually, most of what we have belongs to Michael. I've got a couple of cast iron skillets and a Dutch oven, but he's got probably about another half a dozen skillets and a couple of more Dutch ovens, and then the cornbread pan like you have.
It may seem like a lot, Mandy, but
Brian.
Okay, be well, Brian. He's one of our younger members, for those people who didn't know. Him and his buddies have a channel called Duck. What was it?
Duck and Buck.
Duck and Buck Outdoors. It's 3 of them. They're from 12 to 14. So they're pretty cool kids. They have some really interesting stuff on their channel. Not a lot of videos, but they're interesting. Please, if someone would, I'm going to have to do it now.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they say last night that they had only put out their first video maybe a couple of weeks ago?
Yep, they have 2 videos as of yesterday that I remember. Right now they have. I just hit Cecilia's, not Brian's. Let me see here. They have. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, they have 2 videos, but they have 53 subscribers. Way to go, guys. And they're really good kids. They're actually from Central Nebraska. not too far from me, and just south of Mandy. What are you doing? You going full ninja on us? Okay.
Talk
It took off.
like a sleep. I've gone into a strange mood.
Hey, it's my channel. We do strange things here. Um,
I'm just
who knows what
strange,
we're going to
though.
talk about next? But like I said, Ducks and Bucks, they're really cool gentlemen. They're in central Nebraska, which is just south of JV and SD Mountain Man. Those guys just north of them. And they're west of Mike. Catfish Mike. I can't remember.
Mike Turner.
Yeah, Mike Turner, because he's in Council Bluffs.
It's his
He's an
birthday
Iowan,
yesterday.
just like me. So yeah, they're pretty cool kids.
Were they having issues with their deer feeder?
What's that?
Brian and the other two
Yeah,
in
what
one
about
of their videos were having issues with the deer feeder.
yeah.
Yeah.
They said they had they couldn't get it to power on. It's one of the control panels, and
Yep.
JV said he had the same issue, but he had to go in and rewire something. I'm not sure if that was the case. That's out of my area of expertise because
Well, it's really out of mine.
so
I just would have made it go
I'm
flying.
a small game hunter than I am a deer hunter, but I do have deer hunted before. But mostly, I do my bows is my thing.
You still wipe a deer out with a bow.
Huh?
You can still wipe a deer out with a bow.
I know. I have been deer hunting with my bows before. I just, it's just the competition for good spots on public land where I'm at is hard because a lot of local people, since we have only been here less than a little over 6 months,
You're not a local.
I'm not a local. And they get really,
I don't mean offense to that
no, that's
either.
fine. They're very possessive about their spots.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's public or not. And so I try not to do deer hunting if I can help it but I can walk around and go rabbit hunting and have no issues.
Yeah. I remember when I moved to Port Hedland, when I broke up with my first ex, I moved up with my dad because he lived in Port Hedland. And that's the first time I ever heard, like, for Port Hedland, you have to be there 3 years or longer to be classed as a local.
Oh, wow.
And I was there just over 2 years. But the same thing, there's a lot of things people won't share with you because you're not classed as a local.
Right. And hunters are very possessive about their spots.
Well, it's the same with the fishermen and
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the
stuff
same
like
anywhere.
that.
Anybody in the chat who's a fisherman, I know that Cornfed's still in here somewhere. They can attest that prime fishing spots, if that's your favorite fishing spot, they're very possessive about that. My dad was the same way with morel mushroom hunting. Even though I'm allergic to them, he loved going morel hunting. I'm not sure if JV told you what morels are.
I know what morels are from, who is it? Trapper J.
Okay. Well, thing is, some of the spots people get their morels at they're annual. They come back. And sometimes and they're very possessive about their spots. And they don't let anybody know where their spots are at.
Yeah.
And if they get mad if someone gets on their spot, whether it's public or not.
Yep. It's the same with four-wheel driving, like up in Port Hedland. If you know where to go, you can find like the little isolated water holes.
Right.
My dad, because he was classed as a local, and he actually met one of the people that all he done was drove around everywhere, off tracks that haven't been driven on in years to find these water holes, and he actually showed my dad a couple of them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But even with them, if you're not a local and you're not trusted and you're not respected, they're not going to open up and tell you where those little water holes are.
Right. Especially water's a premium where you're at too. So.
Well, up north even more.
Yeah.
I
can tell you where there's a water hole right here where I'm at. It's about 20 yards that way. That's my well.
A river. I got a little river down the back of mine.
I've got a well about 20 yards over that way and 5 feet from my house.
Yeah.
So I've got a well. That's a bonus. Hopefully we never have to rely on it, because that'd be kind of tough trying to do it in the wintertime. By the way, I got a question for Grace.
What's that?
Okay, now that you have done a cold camp, are you going to do a hot camp next?
Well, we've camped in the summer before, plenty of times. And
no, in the wintertime, hot camp.
Oh, hot. Well, no, but remember, I was telling you about Michael and I are going to make we're going to each make a baker's tent.
Right.
Okay. Well, and if you don't know what a baker's tent is, I think you do, Colin, but for anybody else who doesn't, basically, if you know what a wall tent is, cut it in half. Okay. And the slanted part of the roof is actually an awning, and it can fold down to close up the open wall. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, our baker's tents are also going to have, besides that awning, they're going to have clear plastic. It's actually an extra long shower curtain that can snap on and can hang down. And we're also going to have Mylar tarps that can be snapped onto the inside of the roof and the knee wall in the back. So basically, it makes it into a super shelter.
Yeah.
With the long fire outside. And with that setup, I am very confident that we will be very warm no matter what our winter around here throws at us. Because
so you're gonna put the two tents on either side of an open fire. Is that
of a long fire? Right. Yeah. Long fire in the middle. The two open sides of the baker's tent, his and mine, will be facing each other. Yeah.
Okay.
And the clear plastic hanging down, like I said, the heat comes through there, reflects off of the Mylar. Keeps you very toasty. In fact, I have never slept in a super shelter before, but Michael has, and he said that it got so warm that he had to strip down to his underwear because he said it was about 18 degrees out, about the same as it was last night. It was about 18 degrees, he said, but it was so hot that he couldn't stand to have clothes on. It was just that warm. Probably about 90, 95, 100 degrees. They're extremely efficient if you do them right.
Yeah, the clear plastic, for those people who didn't know, allows the heat to go in, but it keeps it from coming out. So
right.
And there actually is a good example of one. I think if anybody's ever watched Dual Survival, I believe Dave Canterbury and Cody Lundeen did one, I believe.
Yeah, Cody did it. Yeah.
And they got it up to 86 degrees inside that tent, and it was like in the negatives outside the tent.
Yeah.
So that was actually pretty cool. That's the only way I know it, because of what a super shelter is, Grace. So I got lucky and actually knew something about it. But I've never tried one.
If anyone is interested, the guy that we got the idea from to do these homemade baker's tents / super shelters has a YouTube channel. It's called Far North Survival and Bushcraft. The old fellow who lives up in Alaska. Yeah. I don't have a link. I don't have a link to that particular.
His real name.
I'm sorry. What?
Cy North, or is it Far North?
No, Far North, not Sty North.
That's Sty North, because they're two different people. But I think they both did one, didn't they?
No, Sty does a lot of live streams.
Okay.
Then he does some not so primitive camping. He has a trailer that he's converted into a camper that he uses.
Oh, okay. That's cool. One thing I think I would try. Would you try to do is something, because what the setup you're talking about, since you're going to have two of them, it's very similar to what the military do with shelter halves. If you heard of that term, remember that term?
Yeah, but they're not going to be connected. Yeah, the old shelter halves that they issue to the military, you got half of a tent in one pole, the other guy got half of a tent in one pole, and if you teamed up, you could have a whole tent for the two of you.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, with something like with the two Baker tents side by side, if you wanted to, in any other situation, to give you some more room.
Hi, Cliff.
Yeah,
Hey, Cliff.
you could. Yeah, you could. You could join them together.
That's an option if if you're in a really bad situation and you have alternative heat sources other than a log fire.
Although with it being a mom and son thing, sometimes we both need a little privacy, like when we're changing clothes or something. So,
right.
Separate sometimes is better.
Oh, I understand that, but
Come outside the tent. Get out
I'm
and
sorry,
get
what?
changed.
No, what I was going to say, since the baker's tent has a flap that you can be dropped straight down, and you put them together, that means you have a wall between the two. But you're sharing heat, but you're that kind of thing. Okay. Let's get him up here because he's going to be up here whether one way or the other. I mean, he's in the same boat you are technically, Mandy, when it comes to the cold. He's been in snow and stuff more than you have, but he's in a hot weather state, a desert state. Not tonight. What do you mean not tonight? You got a headache? Sorry.
No, he's chicken.
Chicken?
He's a chicken.
Uh-oh.
Chicken.
Now,
chicken.
I had an idea about something, folks, and I want to ask you ladies what you guys would think. Since this puts out a lot of heat, and I think I talked about ceramic heaters before. I'm not sure if you guys heard about me talking about those.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people use candles. And, candles to the point can put out a lot of heat, I guess. But they're limited on how much they could put in there. Now, if you fill one of these up and light it, it puts out a flame about this high above the deal. If you put a triple or even a single ceramic pot suspended above one of these, I think it would, in a small enclosed space, would probably help keep things warm.
That might work.
I mean, go ahead. I just think it's just an idea. I don't know if it'll work, but
okay. The thing that that Ian found, what is it called?
Okay, I actually have a picture. I actually found it on Facebook. It is called. Give me a second. That's the name. Because that's what it is right there. Let's see if I get a better picture. Yeah, there you go. That's what I got. That's the name. And that's the price. That's what they paid for it. That's not what we paid for it. But this was at the outdoor flea market. We found a bunch of stuff. Chicken backwards. I mean, I'm dyslexic and I can still read that. No, I'm not sure how long it would burn because I've never done a burn rate test on it yet, but I plan to. How long? I want to do two things. Chicken Cliff.
Just ignore me, Colin. This is for Cliff. Just ignore me.
Go to your left. There you go. I don't know if it's going to work, but hey.
Might work.
Yeah, Tom, using a curtain across that part of the tent would probably be the same thing as what we're mentioning. That way, you can share heat, but you still have some privacy. I'm not sure how long he's going to do till he responds, if anything. So if you really wanted to misread that, Mandy, Chic Ken Cliff.
Do it.
Waterloo. Oh, Foreign Arts link. Do you have the link, Grace?
No, I don't have it handy. Nope.
Give me a second. I will look it up.
I could probably find the exact
Oh, you want the exact video? I can do that.
No, he's actually got two. He did his first attempt. He was using some plastic that was like an opaque white. It wasn't actually clear, and did a very poor job of letting the
Right.
heat come through. And then he modified it later with the shower curtain.
Okay.
So you kind of have to watch the first one to get the idea how the structure was put together, and then when you see the second one, you see that he replaced the white plastic with the clear plastic shower curtain. And actually, the shower curtains, he said, he assumed, like a lot of people, I probably would have thought the same, that they're made out of some kind of vinyl. They're probably going to crack in the cold, not be real good, in being exposed to the elements and stuff. But he said,
Right.
actually, he discovered that they're made out of a material called PEVA, polyethylene vinyl. As I don't know, I can't remember what it stands for, but anyway, you look that up, and it turns out that it is very weather resistant. So it's the perfect thing to use for a tent that's going to be outside in the cold. So
Right. I found it. It's 92 degrees in a campfire heated tent.
yeah, that would be the first one, I believe.
Okay. I will copy that link and post that one real quick.
Come up here.
Oh, thank you. That's the one for the first one. Let's see if I can find the second one.
Being a snob.
I'm not really seeing it, unless that was the second one. Oh, I think the first one
I'm
was,
looking too.
No, that's the first one was the making a campfire baker tent on the cheap.
Okay, that's the first one. Yeah.
I thought that.
Okay.
That's
All right.
the first one I sent down, folks, was the second one, the successful one. This is the first one. So I guess Cliff is just now showing that.
Yeah, and his whole point was that you can go and buy one of these pre-made, but you're going to pay several $100s.
Right.
I watched another channel. If you've heard of Simon, a Bloke in the Woods.
Yes, I have.
He did one, but it was actually made out of canvas. He's seriously good at what he does. He's got his own sewing machine, a heavy duty sewing machine, and he sewed the whole thing together. And he said that one cost him about $300 or $400, I think it was. But if he went out and bought one, it would have cost him at least double that.
Right.
The point of doing the one made out of the tarps, like Far North Survival or Bushcraft Survival does, is that you can do it probably under $100. Now, we splurged a little bit because instead of the way that Far North does his, is he uses two smaller tarps to cut the pieces out and then tapes them together with heavy duty duct tape like Gorilla Tape.
Right.
But we opted to get a 29 by 19 foot tarp, just a single one, that cost about $65.
Is that a vinyl or canvas?
It's vinyl. It's 9mm vinyl, so it's pretty heavy duty.
Okay.
But the way that we have it figured out, our pattern for cutting out the tent, there's only going to be two places where you have to tape the vinyl together. It's going to be all one piece instead of a bunch of pieces taped together. So, and we're opting to have.
Yet, but I am going to check them out soon because I've been kind of busy. I've been going live every night, and I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But I will.
We've noticed.
Yeah.
Even JB asked, does Colin go live every night now? And I said, I'm pretty sure he's trying to get his watch hours.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm doing it. So I'm I'm not sure where I'm at right now, but let me check.
I think I need like 3,900 and something watch hours.
I'm at. Give me a second.
And like 500 and something more subscribers.
Oh, I'm so low. I've never actually even looked to see how many watch hours I have, but it's not much, I'm sure. But I'm not worried about it. I'm not here for ever being monetized. It's just not
49. Okay.
not anything I'm striving to do.
I'm at 151 hours. I need.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Not there yet, but I'm close.
Oh, my thingy test come back negative.
Good.
Good.
So don't stay away from those guys.
Well, their self-isolation finishes today, apparently.
Doesn't
That's what
matter.
the police.
I mean, they
police
could have
said.
been. You didn't know they were. They could have been carriers or whatever. I mean, you didn't know. But I'm glad you're not. But this is for you, Grace from Tom.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Well, the Mylar, rather than have
I would say use a heavier duty space blanket. The ones that are foldable and reusable are much more durable. But that you'd pretty much bake like a potato. If you're
yeah,
not
those
careful.
would work, except for the pattern for our baker's tent that we can.
Is she cutting out, Mandy?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely gotta put those on watch later, Rep, just to let you know.
They're a little bit smaller to accommodate just a 6-foot wide shower curtain. You could use a cheap one from the.
Grace, you're going to get only part of your what you're saying.
Mylar.
You're fading in and out.
Okay. Is this any better?
It sounds better, yeah. But you were saying stuff, and then you'd lose you,
Okay.
and say stuff
All right,
again.
All right. Maybe I was moving around too much. So okay. I was just saying that our shelters are 7 foot across. So the standard shower curtains that you would get at the dollar store are only going to be 6 feet across. That's the standard size. So they wouldn't be long enough. I had to look on Amazon to find a longer one.
Right.
And then as far as using spray adhesive to put the Mylar space blankets on the tarps, yeah, you could do that. But long term, I don't think they're going to be very durable. And aside from that, we actually wanted to be able to use the Baker's tent for summer or winter. So in the summertime, we won't have the Mylar inside. In the wintertime, we can snap the Mylar tarps in place. Remove them when we don't need them, put them back up when we do.
This is for you, Amanda.
I'm ignoring him.
Considering he's trying to insult you.
I'm ignoring him. Not talking to him anymore.
Oh, come here. There you go. Marcus.
You know, Marcus.
You've just been sitting at my feet this whole time.
Bruce just passed out somewhere.
Hey, where'd you go to Mom?
Mom's not sitting back, so I can't look at her.
Yeah, he's going to go right back to my feet. Now, I would think if you got the folding reusable kind, Grace, that might be a little bit more reusable and less likely to tear. Might be something you might want to look into.
Okay,
what do you think?
Which ones are those?
The heavy duty folding emergency.
Oh yeah. That's what we have. That's what we got. We bought some of those.
The heavy duty ones. Those things will last.
They're just short of 5 foot by 7 foot.
Yeah, you don't need
just
much.
about the right size.
You don't need much just to do what you need to do.
Yes, you. Yes, I'm mad because you won't come up. It's my birthday, Cliff. Get up here.
Yes, folks, for those people who did not know, I'm going to do this just because I can. Let's do it the whole.
He didn't come. He didn't put the washing instructions in with it, Cecilia. So I have no clue.
Cecilia, the beanie and the neck warmer that you made for me, are they wool as well? Do you remember? I'm wondering if I need to be careful how I wash those.
Yep, folks, it is Mandy's birthday. Even though she is technically a day ahead of us.
It's
So,
the
happy
14th
belated
for me.
birthday.
That's
You're
all
actually
that matters.
talking into the past, Mandy. Did you realize
So-
that?
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, Cliff. Can't stay mad at you. Just can't do it.
Okay, CW Outfitters. I don't know that one, Tom. Let me do some because I've been wanting to get Tom up here for a while. Hey, Tom, do me a favor. There you go.
Okay, is Tom talking about the emergency blankets?
I believe he is.
Okay, we got them at Walmart, and I think they were about $13. But like I said, they were 5x7. He may be talking about a different size.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Cecilia.
Now, I just gave you a wrench, Tom, just to let you know. So you can post stuff if you want to post stuff.
Don't abuse the power of blue.
No. I'll send her after you.
Grr.
If
I will
not,
eat you alive.
if she doesn't work, she will.
I will team up. Me
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jenny will team up. You're in trouble.
Probably about me, most likely. And vice versa for JV.
Us
Okay.
ladies have to have each other's backs.
Yeah, you got the UCO ones, Grace?
I'm
The
not
thermal
sure what
blankets?
brand they were. They may have been Yuko.
Yeah.
They're
Yuko's
orange on one side, then the Mylar on the other.
That's the Yuko ones.
Grommets at the corners.
Yeah. Those are actually fairly decent because they do have the grommets, which makes them, usable for other things other than just.
Well, we got one of those kits where you can install your own grommets too, because the grommets may not always be where we're going to need them for the baker's tent. So
Right.
and then we got a set of the snaps. Is basically the same type of tool, but you can install snaps. So
right. Can you imagine if someone made a baker's tent out of the Yuko space blankets? Man, you'd be like a baked potato in there.
ooh, yeah. You definitely need some venting.
But it'll be only good for wintertime, though. But that'll be something you might want to keep in your car, in the wintertime here, in the Midwest where I'm at and stuff like that. So.
Well, I still figure between all the materials that we bought and the tools like the snap sets and the grommets, we're probably still going to come in probably about $100 per tent. So it's still a pretty good deal.
Oh yeah. I've seen people make their own before. My tent is a 12-foot round tent. It's medieval style, but it can be used pretty much anywhere because they have those styles all the way up to the 1800s and through the 1900s. So mine's a little bit more, it's round. It's just the way I can say. Got a big center pole in the middle.
Uh-huh.
But we want to get a 12 by 14 wall tent so we can actually have a stove put in and stuff like that in case of wintertime and all that stuff. Because not so much for heat, mostly for coffee.
Coffee!
I mean, that's the only reason I would do it.
Tried to order me coffee, Colin.
Yeah.
Because I was telling him about the shortages and that. And he tried to order me some coffee and get it sent to me, but they wouldn't send it.
Because of the restrictions.
I'm not sure. It wouldn't send.
Uh,
So,
Raven Cat, thank you for the info. I will take a look at the hat that you sent me.
Cool. Do you have any tags on your items that Grace sent you, Mandy?
no. Apparently,
Okay.
it's on like she puts it on the hat, and the hat is at JV somewhere. So,
Okay. My hat is. I wear two hats. I mean, I wear my Cabela's hat, and wear my other one, which is the gray version of this hat. Carhartt is a good brand.
2 years ago for Christmas, I got one of those hats. They're called different things, hunter's caps, the ones that have the flaps that go down over your ears.
Yeah, Ian's got a military version of one of those.
Well, mine is from Cabela's, and it's got fur on the inside.
Right.
And I've been wearing that when we camp in the colder weather. And Michael got one just this past Christmas, and he loves it.
Yeah, I remember you talking about
when we were out. When we were out this weekend, that's all either of us wore. Those hats are so nice, so warm.
Right. Man, this thing's almost new. This thing's tight.
The only thing I don't like about them is it makes it difficult to hear because every time you move, you get like rustling in your ears from the hat being over your ears.
From the fur.
So if somebody's trying to talk to you, you'll hear them, but you may not understand exactly what they're saying. And we found ourselves quite often having to ask the other to repeat what they just said.
Okay, Grace.
A little annoying.
That's my normal hearing on a daily basis, whether my ears are covered or not. I have tinnitus in both ears, so it's really tough. And it's not something I did. It's my medication that I have to take for my heart. Aspirin does it, surprisingly enough. Okay. Now, I was still wondering why you wouldn't try one of these in the wintertime, because it does go for 12 hours. And, it might even work for keeping a water filter from freezing, possibly.
Oh, that was another lesson learned this time.
What happened?
We really weren't sure if we were going to be able to get water out of the creek because where we camp, quite often, when there's a little bit of a dry spell, the creek will dry up or it'll be just a little trickle. Right. So we brought some gallons of water with us.
And it froze?
But once we got there, and especially after we found out we had a second dog, we're like, well, what, the dogs can drink the stuff right out of the creek, no problem. We'll go ahead, though, and we'll try to filter some. I brought one of my Sawyer squeezes. Right. So I get the water in the bag, and I hang it up on the tree, and I got it set up to drip into an empty bottle, and nothing happens.
It froze.
No. I keep, whenever I take it out in the winter, I wear a hoodie with the belly pocket, and I keep it there in a Ziploc bag 24/7. So it's not going to ever freeze.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. I'll look at that after bed. Go ahead.
I tried it and nothing would come through. So I tried to backwash it thinking, well, maybe it's clogged up. Nothing happened. So it's a good thing we brought water because we would have been, I guess we could have boiled all of our water, but that would have been a pain.
Yeah, it's a lot of fuel.
I like using the filter.
Right.
It's a lot more convenient.
What do you call it? Life straws. I'm not a fan of those.
Michael has used them before, and he said, for like an emergency kit, it might be okay for a few days, but he said his experience is that after a couple of days of use, they get clogged.
Yeah. My issue is that you can't use it for anything other than drinking. You can't use it to help get water for food.
Actually, you can. You can. You get a little pump. It's like a siphon pump. It's got like a little bubble thing you hold in your hand and you pump it.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is a way you can do it.
I like my Katadyn hiker. It works for me. I just need to get some more filters for it, though.
What was that, Colin? What do you use?
A Katadyn hiker water filter.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good for what doing like a what is it, a half liter or a liter?
It does more than that. It does a couple liters. Give me a
Okay.
second. Get me. I'll pull it up.
As long as you can do more than like a single use bottle, I'd say for us that would work. Maybe for a hiker, all they want to do is fill one water bottle and that's it. But we typically take 3-liter CNOC bags
Right.
that I fill with the unfiltered water and then let that drip into. I have normally what we use is what I call a water cube. It's like a collapsible plastic cube that holds about 2.5 gallons, and it has like a spigot on it. I filter it into that. About 2.5, 3-liter bags will fill it, and then we've got water on tap pretty much, for a couple of days.
Right. I'm trying to find the information on the flow rate on the hiker, but here's the hiker. Give me a second. Share. That's what mine looks like. It's a pump setup. It does up to 750 liters per filter. Flow rate is 1 liter per minute.
Oh no, I don't mean how many it can handle. I mean how much capacity at one time.
The maximum flow rate is 1 liter per minute. Because you have to pump
Okay.
it. Obviously.
Okay, but Colin, I'm looking at this on my phone, so the picture is very small, so I can't really tell. Isn't the catadine though? Isn't it like a water vessel that holds the water?
No.
And then
No. It's got 2 hoses. One that goes into the main picture, the little black part right there is the part that goes into the water. Then there's an exit hose that goes into your well, let me see here.
So you can filter it into any container that you want to?
Yeah. It will definitely go into one like this. It'll just fit right over the top of this. Well, it's open, just fill it right up. So that's one thing I like about that. It's a little bit more versatile.
Okay. Then it works basically the same way the Sawyer Squeeze does then.
Yeah, but it's a higher flow rate.
Okay. Well,
but the capacity overall for the filter is less.
Yeah.
Than the that one, because it's just like I said, the 750 liters total for the filter itself.
Well, the Squeeze, I don't know what the flow rate on it is, but it's a trickle, but typically, I'll fill up that 3-liter bag, hang it with the filter on it and let it drip into the water cube. And meanwhile, I'll go do, maybe I'm, setting up camp still, and I'll go set up the tent. 10, 15 minutes later, when I get back to looking at the bag, it's empty and ready to be refilled to, filter more water.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried about the flow. I mean, as long as it's not real slow, I don't want to wait hours for 3 liters of water.
Right. Is yours the Squeeze or the Mini?
The Squeeze. I wouldn't. I've heard too many things about the Mini. I would not. And it's not that much more. I think it's about $10 more for the Squeeze.
The Squeeze on Amazon is running about
35-ish.
About $30.
Yeah.
$29.97. And they got different ones you can get with 3 pouches, with 1 pouch.
Oh, those pouches.
Ignore them.
Anybody out there who gets a Sawyer Squeeze or a Sawyer Mini, don't depend on those pouches. They will split. They're just not that good. Like I mentioned, I have what they call CNOC bags, CNOC, and they are a little expensive. They're about $27 for a bag, but they're never going to break on me. Never. They said you could drive a vehicle over them and they're not going to pop. I think it's something like 2,500 pounds of pressure or something like that. Yeah.
Right. I could use my Ketadin with my my dromedary bag, because it'll fit right over the intake part for that. So I can hold up to 4 liters of water from that if I wanted to do that. So for 4 minutes I could fill the whole thing up and have water hanging or whatever.
Well, and that's another point about the bags that come with the Sawyer filters. you can't hang them, at least not easily. There's not an eyelet. There's not any way to connect a piece of cordage or whatever,
Right.
or hang it over a branch. There's no way to do that. You'd have to hold it. But they're not really meant to be used that way. That's why they call, like the one that I have is called a Sawyer squeeze, because you're actually supposed to squeeze the bag to force the water through. But that's what busts the bags open.
Right.
They will split at the seams. It's happened to me on every bag that I've had from Sawyer.
There's the Sawyer products SP160, the 1 gallon water gravity feed filtration thing. That's like $40.
Yeah.
And it looks like it uses a Sawyer Mini to go along with that, unfortunately.
Well, and I like I said, I don't know what the flow rate is for the Sawyer squeeze, but I've heard that the Sawyer Mini is really slow.
Right.
So yeah, not a good selling point.
Yeah, that's why I like my Katadyn, because it's the higher flow rate. And yes, it's going to take a little work because you're going to have to continually pump for like 4 minutes to fill up like my dromedary bag. But I have my water faster in case I need it. But that's it for that one. So that's, I think we lost Mandy. I'm sorry.
Oh, and I see that Tom was agreeing with me about those pouches. He says they suck.
Yeah. I have heard that there's, I think it was Aquafina does a bag that's a little bit, that will work with those.
Well, the thing about the CNOC bags is that they're like a rubbery.
Okay.
They have some give to them.
Right.
Whereas the ones that come with the Sawyer filters, they're like a stiff plastic.
Right.
And so if you put too much pressure on them,
they'll pop.
They will.
But that's good to know. Apparently, Mandy's phone overheated. Definitely got to get her a laptop or something better.
Yeah, see you later, Mandy.
Thank you, brother, for coming.
Oh, wait a minute. Is Amanda leaving, or is she just not going to be on the...
Tom is leaving. Amanda's
okay, all right.
Overheated.
I take back the goodbye to Mandy then.
Okay. No, she could never leave.
And goodbye, Tom.
No. No, I just like I said, I like my hiker because it's more useful for what I do. And the fact is, I go through a lot of water as a bigger guy. I sweat a lot. I mean, usually on a hot day when I'm hiking up, even at Yellow River, where it's not really super hot, I can get this whole brim would be completely soaked and dripping halfway through my hike, which is probably about 5 or 6 miles in.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going up and down hills with my pack and stuff like that.
Now, see, also, that's not fun to me.
Well, I don't have a problem with it as much. But ever since I had my heart problems, with my leg, it makes it a little tougher. But my having walking sticks makes a big difference. And the fact is, I mean, here, see if I got one of my hiking sticks here. Yeah, I do. I just got the cheapy ones from Outdoor Products, a simple walking stick. But I use these for my poles for my tent. So that helps,
I know you want to.
You know what helps me?
Your UTV?
Exactly.
No, one thing I do put around, I have a okay, give me a second. My Nalgene bottle that I carry, I got one of these, which it does two things. Not only does it insulate and keep the water cooler, it protects the bottle from cracking and dings and bangs and stuff like that. And I
just use a smart water bottle, partly because of the Sawyer squeeze.
Yeah, because they fit over those. They fit in.
Yeah, and the other thing that you can do with the smart water bottle with the Sawyer is if your filter starts getting clogged, if the flow rate decreases a lot, you may need to backwash it. Well, when you get the kit, they give you this big plastic syringe
Right. I saw
that
that.
you're supposed to fill it with filtered water, clean water, and backwash it using that.
Yeah.
But it's big, and when you're trying to cut down on weight and bulk, it's something that they figured out you don't have to. That what you can do is you have your smart water bottle with your filtered water in it. If your filter starts flowing too slow,
Just
you
squirt
can
it back
backwash
off.
it with that smart water. Yeah, you use the water in your smart water bottle to do it, and
Right.
you're going to have it anyway because you're drinking out of it. So it's not an
Right.
extra piece of gear.
The only thing I would do with something like that, if you're backwashing, remember you got to make sure the lip that you put your mouth on has been cleaned.
Well, the thing is, it has a little spout on it, like a sports bottle.
Right.
So you can just squirt it into your mouth. You don't have to touch it.
I know, but I mean, it might contaminate the spout, is what I was thinking. If there is any, contamination. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. I suppose there is some slight chance that could happen, but yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take just a couple, a little bit of alcohol that you could use for your alcohol stove to just sterilize that a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to make
You
sure
can
that
maybe do something like that.
because I would be afraid, even with it spraying without touching your lips, there still could be something that when you back flushed onto that part, that when you're trying to get yourself a drink, goes into you instead of hitting the ground.
Gotcha.
But that's just me being paranoid.
Gotcha. But
I worry about that kind of thing.
But also, even though I use that bottle for drinking and for possible use to be able to backwash my filter, I've never had to do it. I've never had to backwash it while we were out in the field.
Okay.
Out in the field, I sound like I'm in the military again.
We've both been there. We understand completely. but I was also in the Army. They dealt more with the camping side than the Air Force side. I actually had to help them teach people in my unit how to set up a command tent because they didn't know they've never done it before. And to me, it looks simple, but.
Well, remember, I was in the Air Force, not the Army, so we didn't typically play like you guys did. But I was assigned to a mobile unit once, a mobile combat comm unit, and we did go out in the field and set up our field communications and live in tents and eat MREs and that kind of thing. So, but we didn't actually have to set up our own tents.
Oh.
We had supportive forces that would go out a couple of days ahead of time, and they would set up the whole cantonment area, the mess tent, the shower tents, all that stuff.
They did the same with me. I was administration, so I understand completely on that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't, only thing we had to do is make sure we had our paperwork, for what we were working on. But that's it. And setting up typewriters, because we had back then, it was when I was doing that, was pre-computer. It was.
I bet you used the Selectrics, didn't you?
IBM Selectric 3 was
Yep.
the premier.
Yep.
But on outings like that, we used the Selectric 3s in the office, but in the field we had to use the older ones without power. That sucked.
Oh, so manual typewriters?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. I learned in high school on one of those.
That was we only had to do it once, and I said, hell no, never again. Because hunt and peck on those things is tough, because you got to push further than you're used to.
You build up some muscles in your hands.
Oh, carpal tunnel was a thing for those. But by one of the guys who was one of our squad leaders was from the Vietnam era, and he learned to hunt and peck on one of those things. 2-finger typist, the fastest typist I've ever seen, but only using 2 fingers. I mean, he just go like that, and his hands would blur, and you'd have it knocked out. Nerds, you like eating nerds? Sorry, just
Well,
something.
I didn't use typewriters a whole lot, but I used to work on old teletypewriters. The
Yeah, pretty
made by
similar,
Teletype Corporation, Model
right?
28 mostly, and they could transmit and receive at about 150 words per minute,
Ooh,
and that was considered really fast back
I
then.
remember that. But I remember when we transferred from the IBM Selectric 3s to the Zenith 248. You remember those? And that was considered high tech back then.
Uh-huh.
And that, yeah.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it gets better. I mean, now that I got this thing here makes that one looks like just a brick. But now that when I went in the Army, I learned a lot different techniques and stuff like that. The food was different, that's for sure. Because I remember when I went through basic training, the worst MRE I ever ate was in basic training for the Air Force. It was the
You ate MREs in basic training for the Air Force?
Yep.
We didn't do that.
It was
Well,
the
in fact,
one time.
MREs didn't exist when I went through basic training, so.
Well, they did for mine. But remember, you were in a little bit before me.
Right.
But not by much.
Now, as far as chow hall food goes, that really depends on where you were.
Oh, chow hall wise, the best one I ever was at was in Biloxi, Mississippi.
If you're along the coast somewhere, you're going to get fresh seafood.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
I was stationed at, oh man, what was the name of that one?
When I was stationed in Texas, it was nothing to go into the chow hall and have shrimp or steak on the menu, because you're both near the coast and you're in cattle country. So
Biloxi Air Force Base.
cheap, I guess.
I went down there.
Yeah,
Keesler,
I went to Biloxi. I went to Keesler for NCO Academy.
I went to Keesler for my admin, and they had the best food there. Though when I went stationed to Germany, I loved the 24-hour chow hall. It was just amazing. Because when you get hungry at midnight, all you had to do is get dressed and go eat.
So you had a lot of folks that worked night shift, or
yeah. Well, I was at Spangdahlem Air Base, and they had round-the-clock crews, and they had to be open 24/7. And a lot of us learned to start playing Dungeons and Dragons while we were there. I started playing in high school, but these guys were really into it. And you get a 3-day marathon game, and you get hungry in the middle of it. You get dressed, you go over there, you get free food, come back. So that was one of those things. That was back in the day, though. Holy crap, that was back in the
and Cliff thinks
90s.
we're nerds.
Huh?
Cliff thinks we're nerds.
We are. Technically. But I'm a buff nerd compared to some. Because I'm an archer. And I can start my own fires. I know how to, do all that kind of stuff. Now, does my gardening skills up to his? Nope. So he could be a gardening nerd. What do they call him?
He's a gardener.
Yeah, gardener, like a garden gnome.
Yep.
No, it was fun though. I remember I learned a lot when I was in the service, both of them. I'm just surprised I stayed out as long as I did in the Army. 12 years.
I was planning on staying in for 20 years, but then when they offered an early retirement, I had about 16 years in, and I jumped at it. I was ready to come back home.
I should have took early retirement, but I just got tired of it, and I just said, I'm done. I just stopped.
Well, most people in the military probably figure once you've got about 10 years in, that's when you really need to make your decision if you're going to go for it or if you're going to get out. Because you can retire at 20 years. That's a guaranteed check in the bank every month.
Right. I
And
never.
it's kind of hard to walk away if you go over that halfway mark of 10 years. It's kind of hard to walk away from it later. You're so close.
I got really close. I mean, I got 16 years total, but I just couldn't deal with the BS anymore. That's the only reason. I just couldn't deal with it. And when you get done with that, there's nothing you can do but just have walk away. So that's what I did. But do I regret it? No. I would have met my wife if I didn't.
The thing that I am most grateful for, I suppose, is that I got to travel places I never could have afforded to go before.
Oh yeah, I got to see
No
Luxembourg. Luxembourg was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you
my
get to go?
time in the military, I traveled all over the states, and then overseas, I was in Japan, I was in Korea, I was in Hawaii, I was in Spain, I was in Italy.
Germany. You were in Germany.
I think that's in Germany. Yes, I forgot. And then while we were in Germany, we did an MWR trip to Switzerland, Liechtenstein, and Austria.
I got to the border of Switzerland. I didn't.
And
get,
we went.
I wasn't able
And
to
we
get
went to
across.
Paris. We went
I
to
didn't have
Paris
enough
too.
leave time to go further into Switzerland like I liked, and I didn't have enough money because it was expensive for me back then, and especially since I wasn't the one driving, so that was a thing too. You know, when you have more than one person working different places, you can only go as long as the person who owns the car.
Right.
But I got to see some really cool things. Now, I know I'll talk about Luxembourg because that's the main one I went to. I went to France once. Went to Paris for about a day, and
Same here. We did a whirlwind tour of Paris in one day. We saw the Eiffel Tower, Père Lachaise. We rode on the metro. We saw Napoleon's tomb. We had a French eclair, and probably a couple other things I can't remember. Yeah,
I hated it.
Pretty cool.
I hated it.
You hated France?
Paris. Rest of France in the rural stuff was not too bad, but the city I did not like. I didn't have enough time to go to the Louvre, so I have no opinion there.
We were only there. We were only there for one day, so we already knew. They say it's like going to the Smithsonian. You had to spend a week there to see everything, so we didn't even walk in.
Right, but the countryside was beautiful. Because I'm not a city kid, so that doesn't impress me. But seeing the stuff they have out on the roads going to there, coming from Germany, that was cool. I love the trip there and the trip back, but not the destination. I'm sorry to say. No offense to anybody from France, whoever watches this. It just wasn't my thing. But Luxembourg, on the other hand, you go in that place and they speak 3 different languages: French, Dutch, and German, depending on where you're coming from. And it was the first time I went to a McDonald's where they spoke French, and I couldn't understand a word the lady was saying.
So you point at the picture and say that.
And what really threw them off is that I asked for ketchup, and they had, they were trying to give me mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, yeah.
And ew. You do not put mayonnaise on fries.
Well, a lot of people do. That's the thing. Some people like it that way.
I mean, I did get my ketchup packets and everything because I was just a dumb American, but still, it was interesting. I got to see a parade while I was there, which was really cool. They marched up to the. I toured the entire country in a weekend, which is really cool. So that's one part that I will never forget. Stayed the night there, and then we drove back we went there on a Saturday, drove around the whole country, came back on a Sunday.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, Rob. He was here earlier.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Rams won.
I don't care.
Well, I don't really, care a whole lot for football normally, but I found myself this year more interested in it than usual, and I don't know why. I wasn't really pulling for either team because my team would be the Steelers, and of course, well, they weren't in the Super Bowl. But it would have been cool to see the Bengals win just because it's been something like 34 years since they've been to the Super Bowl.
Hey, Rob.
But
Just to let you know, Rob, the He-Man Woman Club, Woman Haters Club fishing trip is the June 11th and 12th here in Iowa.
I can't go then
Oh, no. Why not?
because I have tickets that cost me hundreds of dollars to go see Hamilton
Where at?
in Louisville, 15 minutes from here.
Oh,
Yep, it was
I didn't
supposed to be on
choose
my
it.
birthday last year, and of course, because of COVID, it was
Right.
postponed,
Hey,
and they have it rescheduled for the 11th of June this year.
well, I'm sorry that you won't make it, but maybe we can do a Instagram or something like that where we can get you here that way. But you will be missed, definitely, Grace.
Well, I planned on trying to make it, but that date's just not going to work for me.
I didn't choose.
If I hadn't spent so much money on the tickets, I might even consider not going to the show. But
It's for
it
your
was more than-
birthday. Come on, you got to go. You have to. It's a moral
Yeah.
imperative.
and I'm really
It's
excited.
Hamilton.
to see
I
it.
heard
I don't
Hamilton's
know.
really good anyway.
I've never been a person who's been into plays and musicals, but I'll tell you what, after seeing it when it came out on Disney Plus, I was just like, this is so cool. Got to go see it.
It looks like Rob's not going to make it either. Why won't you be able to make it, Rob?
I said you were doing it in May.
I didn't know what the date was until I was told. The thing is, the dates aren't set in stone yet because we have to talk to the owner of the farmhouse. Now, if it gets to where we have to do it earlier, I'm sure we could probably do it that way. But we got to talk to JV and talk to
Mike Turner,
and because Mike Turner's contacts about the house anyway. It doesn't necessarily have to be the 11th or 12th. I'm just the co-host. So I have a little say, but not a lot of say, since I'm not actually handling the arrangements.
Well, if they do end up having to book it a different weekend, then possibly Rob and I can come. But
that'd be kind of cool.
If not, that's just the way it is. Good night, Amanda.
Night, Amanda. Say hi to JB for us. Tell him we have some people with issues on the dates. Earlier would be better.
Excuse me. Don't try to work around my schedule. Y'all do what you got to do.
No, I mean Cornfed's going to be on vacation, and he's also a local. So he wanted to go, and you just can't do it if we're on that date because he's going to be in June. He's going to be in Arizona.
Well, I guess you just have to wait and see what dates are available, and you can't always please everybody.
No,
fortunately.
But the thing is, I mean, if we get a decent, solid date where we get a majority of us, so we might be able to get it in earlier, maybe. I mean, it's just one weekend, so I don't know what time, Rob is going to be going on his vacation, or but we know when you're doing your play because you have no choice because it's set in stone. Yours does not change.
Right.
But like I said, until we are set in stone with the dates and stuff like that, and the deposits were fluid. But so it's still going to be going on a weekend. That's a given.
Yep. Guess we'll just have to wait for Mike to figure out what date we can get.
Well, Mike's going to be the one putting us in contact with a person who can be doing all that. And then JB is going to, help us get the dates locked down. Then we start. Okay. Then we just give send the money to JV when we were going to get the deposit, get the rooms and stuff like that. So, and if there's more people than rooms, we can get the additional cabins around the farm as well. Unless you want to bring a tent and set up a tent, that's a whole different ballgame. But those are all options. So. It's a lot of fishing going on. There's going to be a lot. I'm going to bring some bows. We're going to do some archery stuff just because I need to have a bow in my hand somewhere. along there. But yeah, and a lot of food. So that's that's the only thing I can tell you. June 10th. Okay, if we do it later in the month, there's a possibility. Or let's see, give me a second. I'm checking dates.
Or earlier.
Yeah, not till the end of the month. I actually go. Actually, no, I'd leave the 1st, but I can leave Thursday night and do from Thursday night to the 10th. So I'll have it. I'll be coming home the 10th. So that way I only spend 6 days of vacation instead of 7, and I get a holiday in there. Actually, no, I spend 5 because the Monday the 4th is a holiday. I get paid for that day anyway. So
Cliff is saying that maybe by the time he'll have his car fixed. Cliff, does that mean that you're possibly going to try to make it?
That'd be kind of cool. We could have so much fun doing that. We get everybody together. And I've fished with Rob already, so that's cool. I've fished with Mike and JV. Have I caught anything with either one of them? Nope. But it's worth a shot. And read it very carefully.
Maybe by the time my car is fixed, I'll have my car fixed.
Yeah, that's all he meant. It doesn't mean he's coming.
I thought he might be implying that if he had his car fixed, he'd have a way to get there.
No, he doesn't have the time off from work since he's a manager at his workplace, and they're shorthanded. And he hasn't had a real vacation in years.
Maybe it's about time.
Well, don't get me wrong. He's due, but he's also got a garden that he has to take care of and other things. He's got obligations. But who knows? Maybe one of these days we'll kidnap him, like we said. JB and I could just kidnap him, and next thing you know, he wakes up in Iowa with a fishing pole in his hand.
No, he's maybe maybe meet up with Rob when he's in Arizona. He says, "Yeah."
Well, that's a possibility. And Jenny and I were talking about going out to Denver for a week or so, because we could take the Amtrak since we're in an Amtrak town. So it wouldn't be too difficult for us just to hop on a train and head out there. And for the 3 of us, it's like less than $500 round trip for a week.
Good night, Rob.
Night, Rob. Thank you for coming. Talk to you later. I know you do, Cliff. But that's what that's what's it chloroform is for. Yeah.
I've got a feeling he keeps more than one sword by his bed. He's shown us all those swords before. He's got a few.
He's got a few. No, we would never kidnap him. We'd actually, my version of kidnapping someone says, I show up at the door. We're
in the car.
Get in the car.
We're going.
Jenny says, "Get in, loser." Then next thing you know, we take the trip all the way back here. But it'd be faster to do it on a train, to be honest. And that way, it's more comfortable for sure. Because I've been looking at the Amtrak stuff and see, because I've never really been on an overnight train ride. I thought that might be something cool to try for a weekend. You get on the train on Friday, come back Sunday, and you don't have no idea if you're going east or west until you get there and flip a coin and see how far you can get in a day and a half or so. spend a couple hours looking around where you end up, and then come back. What do you think, Grace?
Well, the only thing I wouldn't like about going someplace by train is that once you get there, then you have no car. Yeah,
Well,
maybe you could get a rental, but that costs money too. So I don't know.
well, see, some of the ones you said you can bring a bicycle with you or something like that. I mean, it's not meant to be a heavily drive around type of stuff for a day, but just explore within walking distance of where you're at. If you go overnight and get a room for the night, then come back the next day type of situation, a taxi would not be too expensive for something like that. Just somewhere where you can use, because we don't. I'm a firm believer. I want to know. I don't want to know my destination until I'm paying for my ticket. If that makes sense. Just basically like flipping a coin east or west, and then figuring out how much I can afford to which destination I go to.
I thought you were talking about going to Denver.
Oh, I can go to Denver. Denver wise, I can get there easy enough. It's just the fact is where Cliff was showing me was because he used to live in Denver. Is
Right.
There's a street of nothing but secondhand stores up and down the whole thing, and coffee shops, and they have a lot of backpacking stuff that people sell.
Well, that's
Literally.
big around that part of the country, I suppose.
Yeah,
So
I would go there just to go through every shop and look at the antique stuff, the used camping gear, whatever. If I can find something I can use while I'm out there, I'm going to do it. If I happen to find a bow while I'm out there, hey, I'd get lucky and buy that. But, it's going to be a bunch of money.
I've never had much luck finding camping stuff at the secondhand stores around here. I think it's just not. I don't know. We're not in the right part of the country for it, I suppose.
Okay, I apologize, Cliff, but it's without you being up here to correct me, eat faster. It's kind of hard to understand what you said. Okay, but even with a few secondhand stores, are better than none at all. And I find good deals at secondhand stores. Oh man, I think I'm going to call it at 10:30 tonight, Grace, because I do have to work tomorrow.
That's fine.
But I think it's pretty cool having you up here. Sorry about the issues you were having at the beginning, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's happened before. Like if I turn the camera off, then my volume, my mic doesn't work. Even it says it's working, but it's not.
Right.
So that's why I just tried it with the camera on and I just covered it up.
Well, one of the things that also that Cliff mentioned was they have an outdoor flea market, a really big one that I would love to go see. And then you never know what you find at those. And that's when you got your GoPro, you got your stuff there, and you got a pocket full of money, and you say, what can I find that I could use? Or will use, for that matter. Because I've seen people just buy stuff for just buying stuff. Oh, man. So this is what the street he was talking about. And, we could bike it or you can walk it. So that's pretty cool. How many people we got in here? 4. Ooh, 4 watching. Yay.
Well, every little bit helps.
Yep. And, we got Cecilia in here still. And we have Cliff in here still. We already know Amanda's out on a video date with her guy, so we're not going to mess with them. Oh man, I think I might change my mind. I think I'm done. I'm tired.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to call it, folks.
Too.
Thank you for coming up, Grace. Mandy, thank you for coming up as well. I know. Happy birthday to you, girl. Thank you for coming. And if I go on tomorrow night, I might. I don't know. I'm hoping I will. I'm trying to get my hours. That's the only thing I can think of is just go on until I get it. Because I'm down to 151 hours. So, did you see my video by any chance, Grace?
I didn't get to watch all of it. I watched part of it while we were out camping, but I didn't want to run my battery down on my phone. So,
Well, if you get a chance, let me know. Comment on it.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think. I got a lot of interesting stuff in there. And if you see anything in the background that I didn't talk about, you're interested.
Well, that was the other thing. When I was watching that on our camping trip, I was watching it on my phone, so it's kind of small. So it's a little difficult to really be able to tell.
Oh
at
no,
a
no.
quick glance.
When you finally get a chance to look at it,
Yeah. Okay.
just comment if you see something you want me to go back and go look at. I can go do that. So I can always make another video. That's not a problem. And apparently they like me there. They like the fact that we're advertising for their shop.
That's what I was going to say. You're kind of putting the word out.
Oh yeah. If you, I'm not sure if you noticed in the description below of that particular video, I actually have their address, their hours, their phone number, all that stuff. So I'm putting the word out severely. I mean, I didn't get a ton of views on it, but that's okay. But every little bit counts.
Yep.
But I'm going to call it. I'm going to give myself 1 minute because it's at almost a quarter after, and that's a little over 2 hours. It's not too bad. It is now done. So, Grace, thank you for coming.
Okay. All right, Colin.
Love you as usual. You're my older sister, just like I always said. So be well. I love you, every one of you. And I will see you most likely tomorrow. So good night, folks.
Okay. Everybody take care.
Pleasant dreams.
Good night.
Night.